Welcome to CBN4's Primetime News Package. I am Sheena Harry. Good evening. As construction is set to begin on a state-of-the-art hospital here in Dominica, and the government continues to reassure the public of its commitment to providing quality health care to Dominicans, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says that it will take more than just a new hospital to ensure that Dominicans receive the best health care possible. The Prime Minister stated, "Yes, we will have a new hospital, but what kind of services are we providing to the citizens? Yes, government will buy new equipment, even those we have never had before, because we would like to see a reduction in the number of our patients who have to seek medical attention overseas. At this stage, our people should be able to get as many healthcare services as possible. Can the government do it alone? The simple answer to this is no. Government is a partner in the process, but we have to ensure that all those persons who are charged with particular responsibilities in the system recognize their national duties." Skerrit emphasized that, with the assistance of the government of China, his government has been sending a number of doctors to do postgraduate studies and sending nurses for specialized training in nursing disciplines. He says this is all part of the government's strategy to improve the quality of healthcare on the island. In more news, hard work paid off for the opposition leader Lennox Linton, who has managed to exceed the target for judgment fees in a legal matter between himself and chartered accountant Kieran Peanut Byrne. Byrne sued Linton for defamation following allegations made by Linton against Byrne over the Lye River Hotel controversy, which resulted in a deadline for Linton to pay $80,000 today. The London-based Privy Council ruled against Linton in October of last year.
We now are in receipt of $83,200 from the people of Dominica at home and abroad, which means that the target that Matt set at $80,000 has been overachieved. And we want to thank everyone for this, especially Matt, who took the initiative. The Q95 team came on board, and the people of Dominica who responded in an overwhelming way.
Linton said donations are still coming in, which will result in the continuation of the target being surpassed. The opposition leader says his lawyers will contact Peanut Byrne to inform him that in the next few days he will receive a payment through David Bruni's chambers. Linton added the fundraising was a very humbling and uplifting experience, adding that he felt the public justice was being injured, which he stood for, but judgment was against him. According to Linton, people felt there was an injustice against me and stepped up with their contributions. CBN4 News attempted to reach Peanut Byrne and attempted to get the details about the payment plan. We'll bring you the updates when they become available. The appeals are continuing as it relates to sponsorship for the 2016 Miss Dominica Queen Show. To date, none of the 6 contestants have received sponsorship for the major event. Product Promotions Manager of Discover Dominica Authority, Kathleen Coffey John Jules, says more of the private sector needs to sponsor.
More concrete discussions are ongoing right now, and they have actually commenced regarding sponsorship for the Carnival Queen pageant, and for that we are quite pleased to inform you. We are once again making an appeal to the private sector to make a commitment towards Carnival. Let us all rally together in the preservation of Dominica's culture and heritage and make Mass Dominic great, incident-free, and in the spirit of the real Mass. So once again, the private sector, we are awaiting your calls, your emails, and your phone calls.
John Jules said business owners can choose to partly sponsor and or sponsor a round of the show if they cannot afford full sponsorship of a contestant, which costs $15,000. The contestants are Tassia Flozak of Castle Comfort, Abigail Shillingford of Goodwill, Brittany Farrow of Grand Bay, Nawana Shillingford of Loubier, Munel Christmas of Campbell, and Judy Toussaint of Saint-Sauveur. The Miss Dominica show will take place on February 5th. Also in the news, a Dominican businessman is recommending a collaboration of Dominica's two major telecommunication companies in an effort to save the country's carnival. Flow is the major sponsor for Carnival 2016. However, Val Coffey, promoter for the Dominica Festivals Committee, says Digicel needs to come on board to provide financial support needed. The Dominica Festival Committee is reporting a reduced budget for the annual event.
There needs to be a coming together of the businesses in Dominica. I recognize the contribution of Flow into the Dominica's Carnival. We appreciate the support that Flow is giving, but I think the time has come, as Erica, the tropical storm, has shown us that the time has come that we have to move all barriers. And I think that now it's time for the Carnival to open up its doors. But we have two powerful companies in Dominica. We have Flow on one end, we have Digicel on the other end. It's time that the two of them fall in love briefly for 6 weeks in Carnival. Look at the Carnival product as a whole. Flow already has a major stake in terms of Dominica's Calypso, the Calypso finals and tents. I think Digicel can, if they have, because we have to be creative. Because we are at our life's edge now, looking for support.
Coffey urged both companies to put their competitiveness aside for 6 weeks to have a successful carnival. Devastated the small community of Coolibistry, but the support for the community continues to grow. The Rotary Club of Ottawa South in Canada has donated over 19,000 Canadian dollars, the equivalent of more than 35,000 EC dollars, to the Rotary Club of Dominica to be used to help resupply the Coolibistry Primary School. The school was severely flooded during the storm, and students are now housed at the Salisbury Government School, where the two schools operate on a shift system, attending from 8 to 12:30 and 1 to 5. Plans are on the way to make improvements to one part of the Salisbury School, which is mostly unused, to accommodate the students of Coolibistry and end the shift system. Students and teachers of both schools are ready to go back to some sense of normalcy and schedule. Full repairs to the Coolibistry Primary School is estimated at over $79,000 US. Also making the news, truck drivers who will operate on the streets of Roseau during the Carnival season, beginning with the opening of Carnival Parade on Saturday, have been cautioned by the police to adhere to the guidelines. This is according to Assistant Superintendent of Police Richmond Valentine, who said these guidelines are vital to ensure safety.
It has been accepted that the height of the truck should not exceed 14 feet. The truckers or the trucks that are expected to be on parade shall be equipped with additional lights, preferably a floodlight, fire extinguisher. We're also asking the truck drivers to have with them a fire extinguisher. Usually, on the truck, there are one or two individuals that are responsible for ensuring that some of the low-lying lines do not interfere with the speakers on the truck. I'm again appealing to them that they need to have the proper protective gear.
Valentine said truck drivers should also ensure their trucks are equipped with guardrails on the first level to protect its occupants from falling off. According to Valentine, they have seen in the past where guidelines are disregarded, and as such, all trucks who will traverse the Carnival route will be inspected to ensure compliance. The Miss Teen Dominica pageant was officially launched at the Arawak House of Culture under the theme Celebrating the Dream. In attendance was reigning Miss Teen Dominica, Lucretia Wallace, who encouraged the young ladies to do their best, but to also remember that the contest gives them the opportunity to become positive role models for other young people.
Pageant, organized by the Whitey Kubli Dance Theatre Company, grants teenagers like myself and the contestants about to be showcased today, of course, the opportunity to become positive role models in today's society, as well as to award themselves the possibility of embarking on an expedition of constructive self-discovery. Additionally, it is also a supportive venue where talents are showcased and lifelong friendships are forged.
Raymond Lawrence, director of the Whitey Kubuli Dance Theatre, who endorsed the show, reiterated Wallace's remarks, stating the show is much more than just a beauty contest.
Modeling and performing skills, and it also helps them to develop their sense of self-confidence and self-esteem. Events like this support the visual and performing arts program, which is now being taught in schools, and some of the students may even go on to do CXC exams in some of these art forms.
Lawrence thanked the headline sponsor, AC Shillingford and Company Limited, and also thanked all of the businesses that took the initiative to sponsor the young ladies. He stressed that the show should not be viewed as just a competition, but a celebration of talents and a chance for young people to learn sportsmanship and gain experience. The contestants vying for the title are Tiffany Ilwa of the Portsmouth Secondary School, sponsored by Ross University School of Medicine; Tatiana Dengelben, representing Convent High School, sponsored by Bullseye Pharmacy; Imelda Boston of the Dominica Grammar School, sponsored by Petro Caribe; Marcella Green, representing the Goodwill Secondary School, sponsored by Kadrek; Lisa Samuel of the St. Martin's Secondary School, sponsored by New India Assurance Company Limited; Nadesh Baba, representing the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, sponsored by Dominica Lotteries Commission; and Natora Francis of the Pierre Charles Secondary School, sponsored by P.H. Williams and Company Limited. The show will be held on January 31st at the Windsor Park Stadium. The executive of Mass Camp promises the Dominican public a night to remember as they get ready to put on an exciting show at Mass Camp. At a press conference held earlier today, Chairman of Mass Camp, Dr. Valda Henry, explained that the show will be massive as Calypsonians are preparing to put on a spectacular show as well as performances from renowned soca artist Kevin Little.
Tomorrow evening will be a great evening. A massive, massive show is expected because you know our Calypsonians are coming on. In fact, I call them my Calypsonians are coming on with the A game. I mean, last week they gave you, I'm sure you all were blown away last week because you did not expect what you saw last week. And if you were blown away last week, I promise you that this week you better really hold on because this time you truly will be lost. And when we add to that, Kevin Little, who comes with some tremendous songs that we all know, Turn Me On, Tempted to Touch, Back for the Carnival, all of these great songs. And there'll be a little surprise. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to come to the show to know what it is going to be. In addition to his own numbers, there's a nice little surprise package waiting just for you.
The Public Relations Officer of Mass Camp, Cecil Moses, said with the new face of Mass Camp, it's going to be bigger and better.
And this week, this Friday, we're taking it up a notch, and we're taking it up with Kevin Little, who is to my immediate left. And he is going to be on stage performing after the Calypsonians. Now, you know our Calypsonians are exceptionally talented with great songs this year, and They showed that to you last week, Thursday, when we came on and we started. This week is going to be about, at this time, it's going to be about glow. It's going to be about all white or white, something white even. We'll be presenting you with some glow sticks or what have you, and then you can get in there and get a drink. It's going to begin at 7:30. We're kicking off bang on time, by the way, 7:30.
Meantime, Kevin Little has promised the Dominicans a night to remember at Mass Camp.
You know my name is Kevin Little, like boiling water in a kettle. You know I love all my ladies. Hey, so let me hold you, go caress my body. You got me going crazy. Turn me on, yeah.
Mass Camp will take place this Friday at the Harlem Plaza. The show costs $25 from 7:30 to 8:30 and will then increase to $30. It was a hard-fought battle at Stadium 10th last night as Calypsonians went head-to-head in the tug-of-war Battle Royale hosted by Alex Bruno and Lady Star. Living up to the expectations, the competition pitted notables King Hunter versus King Scrunter, King Daddy Chess versus King Observer, Psy versus Checo, and Lugas versus Benno. Black Diamond and Jerd gave a performance of Mighty Sparrow's hits, much to the delight of the audience, proving that the young blood knew classic calypso.
What you know about Sparrow Boy? Even a fortune teller couldn't tell you more about woman than me. Look, you're a woman clever and so smarter than she. I could mess up any woman in here on the street, even though we have never met. I could tell her if she's sour, if she's salty, she's sweet, if she's really hard to get. But my eyes, such a comic kind of sleepy when you watch it.
The reigning Calypso King, Lord Caressa, was a guest performer, adorned in his crown. He was also the third umpire, with primary refereeing responsibilities given to the crowd. The next Stardom tent is scheduled for Wednesday, January 20th. Fenton Ferguson says tougher anti-child labor laws, increased opportunities for schooling, and public awareness form part of the answer for the elimination of child labor in the country. If children can go to school and stay in school, their chances of getting proper jobs to care for their families increase. And if there are tough anti-child labor laws, workplaces will be safer, proper wages will be guaranteed, and children will not be taken advantage of, he said. Dr. Ferguson said an estimated 16,000 children in Jamaica were involved in child labor. The results from the National Child Labor Survey, which will be done over a 12-week period between April and June this year, will improve the ministry's capacity to incorporate child labor data. A subtropical storm has formed far out in the Atlantic Ocean and has been classified as the first named storm of the 2016 Atlantic hurricane season. It is only the fourth named Atlantic storm to form in January in over 160 years. Tropical Storm Alex, which began as a non-tropical low-pressure system, past Bermuda last week, formed yesterday afternoon south-southwest of the Azores, a group of islands located 800 to 900 miles west of Portugal. The National Hurricane Center said Alex was carrying maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour and could produce strong winds and heavy rains over the Azores today and into tomorrow. But forecasters say by the time Alex reaches the Azores, it may have transitioned back to a non-tropical low-pressure system. And information just reaching CBN4 News, Tropical Storm Alex has now become a hurricane. Newly accredited Belize ambassador to the Caribbean community, Daniel Gutierrez, says the best years of the integration movement lie ahead for what he calls the tremendous untapped potential that lies within the region. Speaking at a ceremony to present his letters of credence to CARICOM Secretary General, Ambassador Owen LaRocque, Gutierrez referenced his Prime Minister's New Year address, in which he heralded 2016 as a landmark year for the integration movement. Against that backdrop, he said, "I am not the first and will not be the last to speak of the untold wealth, underdeveloped talent, and the unshakable hope that characterizes the brotherhood of nations that call themselves CARICOM." Don't go anywhere. CBN4's Sports Authority, Ali and Christopher, is up next.
Well, thank you, Sheena Harry. And the Primetime Sports starts now. First up this evening, Cube Cheese Barbershop Bath Estate suffered their first defeat of the season in Group 3, while Petro Caribbean Point Michel dropped their first 2 points in Group 2, and Wacky Rollers registered a huge win in Group 1 as action continued last night in the DFA Division 1 League.
Else each found the back of the nets twice for Wacky Rollers, with one each coming from Markel Badwill, Kimon Stedman and Delvin Gist. Kurt Hector and Nigel Montoot scored for Renegades, with the other goal coming from a Wacky Rollers player. In Group 2, Petro Caribbean Point Michel dropped their first points for the season as they played to a 1-all draw with Harlem United at the Pori playing field. Bert Kazimi scored for Point Michel, with Myron Joseph scoring for Harlem. And in Group 3, Cube Cheese Barbershop Bath Estate suffered their first defeat for the season as they went down by 2-1 against East Central in the second match of a doubleheader at the Pori playing field. Elton Mack and Michael Gasper scored for East Central, with Denzel Lawrence scoring for Bath Estate.
The league continues tonight with Nemesis United taking on Exodus Young Boys at the Benjamin's Park from 5 p.m, while in a doubleheader at the Pori playing field, RIC Kensborough will come up against Police Sports Club at 5 p.m. That match will be followed by Grand Fond Young Boys versus Kenfield Football Club from 7 p.m. In more football news, President of the Dominica Football Association, Glenn Etienne, has indicated that a new face will be at the helm after the February 26 general elections of the world's governing body, FIFA. Etienne stated that the person are aware of the current scandals going on at FIFA. Currently, Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini could face even longer bans after FIFA's Ethics Investigatory Chamber confirmed it is appealing to increase the 8-year suspensions handed down to the two most powerful people in world football. In this regard, Etienne has stated that his association would be happy to see someone who is transparent and someone who has credibility.
Well, at this time, we must give somebody a try. You know, I mean, the word best, I cannot say whether he's the best or not. But we must give somebody a try in the sense that, and when I mean try, I don't mean a try for the failure. I try for giving a new face to FIFA in the sense of transparency. I mean, we all been hearing the demise of what's happening to most of the leaders at FIFA. So you want somebody with that kind of transparency, personnel, credible, you know. So, and from it is going to be somebody new because all the other persons in the race are new candidates, you know. So it's going to be a new president after the 26th of February, and that's soon. That's very soon from now.
Prince Ali bin Al Hussein of Jordan is one of the few men in the running for the presidency of FIFA. According to Etienne, Prince Ali visited the island of Dominica recently and believes that the Jordanian prince understands some of the needs of the Dominica Football Association.
visited us. At least he had the audacity to pay us a visit when he was going up against President Blatter. He did come to Dominica and he saw our terrain in terms of maybe our infrastructure. So I believe he understands some of our needs, So one might tend to think that he might be the front runner. It all depends on the 26th of February.
Glenn Etienne, the president of the Dominica Football Association, is hoping that whoever wins the general election on the 26th of next month will carry out the same policies of the previous president, Sepp Blatter. And in an effort to revitalize the sporting cultures among the various secondary schools, the sports division will tomorrow commence with the United Insurance Under-20 Cricket Championships at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium.
January the 15th, and that will take place at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. And the opening will take the form of Bollarama among the champion houses in cricket and the various secondary schools. And this is an effort of the sports division to revitalize the sporting cultures at the various secondary schools, and it's an initiative that has been going on for some time.
5 teams are well set to participate in the opening of the 2016 Secondary Schools United Insurance Under-20 Cricket Championships. 9 teams will participate in this year's tournament.
Participating secondary schools, we have 5 teams participating in the opening tomorrow, and that will be the Cassibru Secondary School. We have George House from that school, the Cicero House from the Northeast Comprehensive School, the Christy Alcid House from the Portsmouth Secondary School, the Balata House from the Pierre Charles Secondary School, and the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School will be represented by the Wallace House. And the Balata House from the Pierre Charles Secondary School is once again getting the opportunity to defend the championship, as they were last year's house champions when the Boroma went through. And this year we will see some 9 teams participating in the competition, and they are the same 9 teams that we've been having from the past years. And the teams will be separated in 2 zones. In Zone A, we have the the PHL Secondary School, the Dominica Grammar School, the Goodwood Secondary School, the St. Mary's Academy, and the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School. And the other 4 participating teams in Zone B will be the Dominica State College, the Portsmouth Secondary School, the Northeast Comprehensive School, and the Cassibru Secondary School.
The Dominica State College will be looking to defend their title after defeating the Northeast Comprehensive School in last year's final. The senior sports officer says that wonderful competition is expected, as it is often seen. An unbroken half-century stand for the 8th wicket between Kieron Kotoy and Shane Shillingford lifted the Windward Island Volcanoes to an exciting last-over victory over the Guyana Jaguars in a nervy Group B affair in the regional Super 50. Volcanoes were slumping at 156 for 8 in the 46th over in pursuit of their target of 210 for victory. Kotoy struck 23 not out from just 13 deliveries, and Shillingford weighed in with an unbeaten 21 from 13 balls in a stunning 54-run partnership of a mere 24 deliveries, which handed Volcanoes a breathtaking win on the lights with 3 balls remaining at Warner Park. Earlier, Jaguars needed a miracle of their own to pass 200 after their innings lay in ruins at one stage at 25 for 5 in the 11th over. Crandon launched a rescue effort, hammering 68 of 106 balls to lead a lower order recovery, which saw Jaguars rally to a respectable 209 for 9 of their allotted 50 overs. Paul Wins struck a breezy 38 not out of 33 balls. Captain Leon Johnson got 29, while Stephen Jacobs hit 27. Volcanoes have now solidified their spot at the top of the group with 14 points. In Chris Gale, Dwayne Bravo, Andrew Russell, Kyron Pollard, Sonil Narayan and Darren Sami will be eligible for selection for the upcoming tournaments, including the World 2020, despite not being given annual retainer contracts by the West Indies Cricket Board. The only condition the WICB has placed is that the players will need to meet criteria set in place by the selection panel led by former West Indies captain Clive Lloyd. The 6 players are not part of the group of 15 who were given retainer contracts for the period between October 1st, 2015 and September 30th, 2016. Some of the 6 players have failed to feature in the list of contracted players in the past for reasons ranging from disputes with the WICB to voluntarily decline the retainer. In January 2015, Gail and Narayan had refused the retainer contracts as they wanted to focus on playing domestic 2020 leagues around the world where they are marquee players. And that concludes the Primetime Sport Report for today. I am Alan Christopher saying goodbye.
Thank you, Alian, for that report. After the break, Shana Esprit has the details on the weather.
A pleasant welcome to CBN4's weather report for tonight. The chill continues this evening. The area will be partly cloudy with a shower in spots. Temperatures will be 80 degrees high with a low of 75. Humidity is 71% with a 40% chance of rain in the area. Sea conditions are moderate in open waters with waves up to 8 feet. Winds are moving east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 10 to 30 kilometers per hour. The sun rose at 6:35 a.m. and set at 5:54 p.m. Now for the weather synopsis. Weak unstable conditions are affecting the area. Occasional cloudiness and scattered showers are possible across parts of the island chain during the next 24 hours. Moderate sea conditions are expected during the next 24 to 48 hours, with waves peaking near 8 feet. Small craft operators and sea bathers should still exercise caution. Now let's take a look at the weather updates for tomorrow. Friday, there will be periods of sun with a shower. Temperatures will be in the highs of 81 degrees with a low of 75. Humidity is 67% with a 40% chance of rain in the area. Meanwhile, sea conditions remain moderate in open waters with waves up to 8 feet. Winds are moving east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 10 to 30 kilometers per hour. A look at the weather forecast for the upcoming days. A partly sunny day with a few showers in spots is what to expect on Saturday. Temperatures will be 81 degrees high with a low of 75 degrees. Humidity will be at 72% with a 41% chance of rain in the area. Meanwhile, sea conditions will be moderate in open waters with waves also up to 8 feet. Winds will be moving east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 10 to 30 kilometers per hour. Sunrise will be at 6:36 a.m. and set at 5:55 p.m. And on Sunday, the weather will also be partly sunny with a shower. Temperatures will be 81 degrees high with a low of 75 degrees. Humidity will be at 72% with a 40% chance of rain in the area. Sea conditions will be moderate in open waters with waves up to 8 feet. Winds will also be moving east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 10 to 30 kilometers per hour. Sunrise will be at 6:36 a.m. and will set at 5:56 p.m. And that was your weather evening report. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Shana. As always, thanks for choosing CBN4's Primetime News. I am Sheena Harry. Good evening.
What you know about Sparrow Boy? Even a fortune teller couldn't tell you more about woman than me. Look, you're a woman clever and so smarter than she. I could rise up any woman in here on the street, even though we have never met. I could to get